It's time for Mike and Matt in the morning.
That's a front to back album for me.
I need that album on vinyl badly.
I love this album. I love everything by them.
Oh, we're back. Like Pop Punk's back.
Our ska savior is back.
This is blowing my mind right now.
Dude, this is it. Buckle the fuck up.
It's Mike and Matt in the morning. I'm Mike. That's Matt. Matt, you know what I'm going to say to you. Good morning, and how's your day going?
It's going pretty good.
Could be better.
Been waiting for this all day.
Me too.
I mean, all night because it's the morning.
That's true. It is.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, we're doing this. Awesome. We have a very exciting thing going on in this episode. We have the honor of saying we have our first guest ever to join us. I would love to pass the virtual mic to our friend Leo over here. Leo, if you could intro yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and of course we'll get into the songs afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the introductions. I'm Leo, by the way. I'm Leandro Morabito. I'm go by Leo. I'm the Reddish owner. So I'm actually have the pleasure to be in this kind of podcast. It's kind of cool for me. Mike just reached to me about it, and I'm excited to hear more about all the songs we're going to be talking about. And about me, I've been IT my whole entire life. So it was everything new for me just to start with the marketing agency. So it's so challenging that sometimes we just change fields between one business to another business. So I'm pretty excited with this journey, and I'm excited to be here too, Mike.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Leo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt for coming up with the theme on this one. This one, I love the name of it. It is Top 4, Top 40. But specifically, we said of the month and year we were born. Matt, one of the questions I alluded to you, and Leo, same question to you as well, is how close did you get to your birthday? Because I found a list only 3 days after I was born. So my top 40 list I was working with was very accurate in my eyes.
So I was actually kind of wondering the same thing. As I've noticed, I thought of it, or I would have posed that question in a lot different way.
Yeah.
But so, and this may not, like, I don't even really remember how the top 40 was calculated. Was it just by the month, or was it week over week? Because the list that I found, it said week ending April 26th, 1986. And I was born on the 29th. And I was like, oh, should I do the one? And I think it would have been May 3rd, but it's not the month, And I was like, kind of like, it's like a little conflicted. And then I was like, oh, wait, actually, none of this actually matters. It's fine. And then especially when I looked at the differences of, there was only like a couple of songs different, and I was like, yeah. All right, who cares,
Same. But I looked at one. It was one a week earlier. I'm like, it's not exact. I'm like, but this is pretty similar to the one I'm looking at. You could just see little movements in the charts. What about you, Leo? Did you get pretty close?
Well, for me, I think it was a little hilarious because I was just a baby back then, like I wasn't exactly hitting the disco floor with a pacifier in the hand, I just kind of, well, let's do some Googling because I couldn't remember back time. I remember when I was a teenager, I couldn't even remember those. And then the list, if you see, it was like after Michael Jackson. So it's kind of like, well, I have to do some research, but it was a fun. Yeah, I was able to get 3 of the songs. The fourth one is actually a twist, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, I am just about to kick off my list. I will say, and we could talk about this once we jump into your list as well. My list was killer to the point where I had to make choices of what 4 I wanted to list on here. some real quick honorable mentions that I did not add onto here. Take on Me by Aha, Dress You Up by Madonna, What About Love by Heart, Freedom by Wham, Money for Nothing by Dire Straits, Shout, Tears for Fears. So those are the ones that didn't make the cut. So for me, I'm going to kick it off right here. Let's hit play. We have, and I wrote this down too, out of top 40, we have the 11th spot of my birthday week with Phil Collins' Don't Lose My Number. This one is off of Phil's third solo album, No Jacket Required. Other huge singles you might remember from this one are Susudio, One More Night, and then my personal favorite, Take Me Home, which is my favorite song off of this album right here. And digging into this one a little bit, I found an interesting tidbit of information. Phil, obviously being from the UK, Don't Lose My Number was never released as a single in the UK. It is a US only single off of this album, which was interesting to me, at least. But and then also while doing a little other digging as well, I thought it was very funny that in an interview, Phil admitted that he himself does not know what the lyrics mean at all because they are all just gibberish improvisations of him just going, hey, this sounds good in this part, and just like put words and phrases together kind of thing. So there really is not much of a story behind it of the lyrics or anything.
That's a little surprising, and I don't know why, but I guess just Phil Collins seems kind of, I don't know,
very
I don't want to say
purposeful.
scripted, but yeah, intentional. So I'm a little surprised to hear that the lyrics are essentially meaningless.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. So a little bit shocking, but Leo, what's your history with Phil Collins? Or
I mean, I love him. I mean, your list is like a killer. Like, I would die to have this list. I actually died to be born in the age that you did because you get the best songs. I mean, by my teenagerhood, I was like hitting clubs. I was actually going to pool parties back in Brazil. And I remember actually when you're talking about Phil Collins, which is kind of funny because Another Day in Paradise was one of my favorite one because we had this massive pool in this club in Barra da Tijuca. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rio de Janeiro, but it was a kind of resort that they have this massive pool, and this pool, it has, in the middle of the pool has like a kind of island, and in the whole entire resort have like, look like a paradise theme, right? And then they play Phil Collins like all day long. And then Another Day in Paradise for me was like that image, that club with the people having a good time and having fun in the pool. So it's just amazing. It's pretty cool. I like Phil Collins a lot. I have even my favorite playlist for each kind of singer, but it make a cut real good. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a pool party I would want to be at.
Right, yeah.
Mostly Phil Collins being played the entire time. That is awesome. Matt, on your side, I know we've talked about Phil and Genesis, and honestly, the split of Genesis of Peter Gabriel era, and we've listened to standalone Peter Gabriel songs, but I mean, what about you and Phil? You guys buds?
I like Phil for a long time. As I've always often done with a lot of things, I felt like I had to pick Peter Gabriel or Phil Collins. Like why? It's art that we're talking about. I don't have to pick, and I kind of realized, you know what? I like Phil Collins. I just admit it. You know, it's funny that you had said that. Did you say "Take Me Home" is your favorite off of this album? Because that one was number 9 on my list.
There we
So,
go.
and I had it on here, right? So it had reached the top of the charts by the time I was born. So yeah, if we had just coordinated, I could have just maybe given you my song and we could have swapped or something, but
That's all good. It's American football all over again. Leo, on a former episode, I saw Matt's list. I went, awesome. I don't need to add this song on here. He did it. And then we started recording. He goes, oh, I took it off the list. So it's all good though. I mean, off the opening chords of this is so iconic, at least to me. But of course, we got Summer of '69, Bryan Adams. This was 5th place in the top 40 list right here. So jumping from 11 from Phil to 5th on this one. This is off his album Reckless, with other, I'll call it, other monstrous hits like Run to You, Heaven, Somebody, and It's Only Love featuring Tina Turner. So all of those are just like also ginormous radio hits at the time. So he is doing A-okay with this album. No problems whatsoever. Digging through, I didn't find a ton of crazy deep lore outside of the original demo version of the song had some different lyrics and things like that, and it makes sense. They were going to just call it Best Days of My Life, because apparently in the original run, they said it 7 times with the original lyrics, and then they went, we should call it Summer 69, so they put it in front of you a little bit more. Kind of like what you were saying, Leo, like, I know summer's in the name, but like, man, this is just like a driving around, windows down summer song to me. I just think it is so timeless. There's a reason why you still hear it to this day. I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, which is funny is like how music attached to you, right? Like basically, it's not because you hear the rhythm and you're just like, oh, I like the songs. It happened that way too, but it's like, for me, it was through things and places in the right time. So
yeah,
like exactly like you hearing the Another Day in Paradise, right? Was in the have a good time, and then the song kick in for the first time. It's just like, whoa, that song matches everywhere. And back in the time, I don't even knew English. I was like, we just go by the rhythm in Brazil, right? And people are just like, oh, that song is cool. And the good thing talking about song is like a lot of people, little kids, moms, and listen to those things, and then they just like get excited. So it has a lot of, I would say, vibe, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like it gives you a good time. So it's, for me, I attach music to things that happened in the past, and then every time the music kick in, the first thing, it's like a perfume, right? Like you smell a perfume for the first time, or your first love, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, I remember this place. So it's pretty similar.
It's funny you say that, Leo. Real quick. My family, for a while when I was younger, we would go to the same campground every summer, and every Friday night at the campground, the basketball court would turn into a dance party, and they'd bring a DJ in. And I remember some nights we would go, truthfully, it was so loud you could hear it from the campground. And there was just one night we were sitting outside of the trailer, and this was just like echoing across the campground. And every time I hear that, I can like picture where I am at that moment right there.
Yeah, it's like Leo. I love the perfume connection. It's more than what you're hearing or what, you know, like it attaches to you, and it's like I don't know. I want to use the word senses, but I don't want to say sensual. But it just reminds you of things. It reminds you of where you were, not necessarily the first time you heard it or anything like that, but it's just it's so it can be so emotional. It can be so nostalgic. It can be so whatever. It's just it attaches to your soul, you know. So I will say, I'm kind of sick of Summer of '69. I've heard it so many times. I just can't. At this point, I cringe when it comes on, but I get it.
It's all good. It's all good. We have shifted into St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion by John Parr. This is the second position in the top 40 list. So you can guess where my next one lays, but you better believe this is so high because the movie St. Elmo's Fire was released just a month prior to when I pulled this list at the end of August. Interesting thing is this song and the next one on my list have two kind of opposite approaches to the songwriting, where the director of St. Elmo's Fire, Joel Schumacher, came to John Parr and actually gave him guidelines for the lyrics of saying he wanted a song about determination, about kids who are growing up and have to make decisions about what they want to do with their lives. And that's what the movie's about. And that's what he wants the song to kind of capture on that side. And then John Parr, outside of that, I captured this quote from him. He says, in the movie, St. Elmo's is a bar. He goes, but to me, St. Elmo's Fire is a magical thing glowing in the sky that holds destiny to somebody. It's mystical and sacred. It's where paradise lies, like the end of a rainbow. And this song is very like triumphant, is the best way I could put it, where it's like, it's up there in the same realm of like Eye of the Tiger, where like it is motivational to listen to kind of thing. Do you guys feel
triumphant?
Yeah,
that's such a great word for it. I was unreasonably excited that you put this on when I saw it was on the list. I absolutely love this song, and I have annoyed so many people with it just by like blasting it and why what it's a soundtrack song, you know.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I think it's just such a powerful song and just so fun to listen to. And I mean I like the movie as well. Mm-hmm. And then when I noticed your next song, I was like, oh, did he make the connection? Because like I don't know where I like heard that story like of the next one, but I was like, I wonder if he knows the connection. So I'm very, very excited. Not between the songs, but like just the fact that what I think you're gonna get. I don't want to take away your. I don't want to steal your thunder, but
if I miss it, please let me know.
Oh, I will. You know I will.
Awesome. Leo, what do you, I mean, I know we're wrapping this song up, but you got feelings about St. Elmo's Fire?
I never heard, to be sincere with you, and I'm so surprised and embarrassed at the same time, because the 80s and 90s I should dominate the songs because I really love them, and I haven't watched that movie. I just did a quick like cheat scanning right here and see what it is.
Yeah.
But it brings the vibe of the songs back in the Rocky time and the Flash dance and everything. So I would definitely gonna look into this movie now. I just took notes right now.
Check it out, Leo. It's a good
Great
one.
job, yeah. Very cool.
Awesome. We have shifted into our number one spot of the top 40, Our Love by Huey Lewis and the News right here. Along the same lines of our last song, Back to the Future was released at this point just under 2 months ago. Back to the Future came out July 3rd, 1985. Of course, this was still riding the charts off of that success. It is also, Matt, like you were kind of saying of St. Elmo's Fire, this was just written for the soundtrack. This does not tie to any Huey Lewis album whatsoever. In a similar way, Bob Gale, Robert Zemeckis, and Steven Spielberg came to Huey Lewis, along with some other people from the production team. And the initial pitch was saying that, well, Huey Lewis and the News is going to be Marty McFly's favorite band. And that's what they kind of pitched it to him. And he was flattered by it, but he admitted, he's like, I don't know how to write songs for a film. Yeah. He goes, and I also don't really want to write a song called Back to the Future. Yeah. And so they came to an agreement where they went, you can write any song you want. And so Huey Lewis wrote Power of Love next and went, what do you guys think about this? Hence why there is no mention of any thematic tie-in to the movie of traveling back in time, other than our main characters being in love. But Matt, was that what you were looking for?
Yeah.
Did I miss it?
Yeah. The fact that he was just like, cool, but no,
Yeah.
like I don't know how to do that, and I don't want to, and but yeah, you can have whatever I write next. That's fine, like, and it has nothing to do with it. But I think also, to a point that Leo made, like the lyrics aren't really all that important to like the feeling that you get, and I've never really even thought about it, but the fact that Leo didn't speak English, back when he heard first heard a lot of songs, but it was just like the vibe, the feeling of it, like that's what you need in a movie anyways, like the movie's already telling the story. You don't need a song to help you tell the story. It's or at least the lyrics of the song to help you tell the story. You need the song to itself to like just lend itself to the vibe of the movie. So also I just fucking love Huey Lewis and the News. I think a lot of people sleep on them, and man, just nothing but hit after hit for so long, and just awesome. And I'll end here with the only other movie that I know of or that I can think of with a Huey Lewis song many years later, but American Psycho. I think of that scene where he describes the album 4, and like I just love that scene. It's just insane.
It captures it perfectly. Matt, Leo, those were my top 4. We are shifting into Matt's top 4, top 40. Matt, I pass the virtual mic to you.
Groovy. So, I was actually a little surprised to see my opportunity to bring up Pet Shop Boys once again. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time I've brought them up. I absolutely love the Pet Shop Boys. If anyone's been watching this, they already know that. But I think probably the most underrated group of really any time, but especially the 80s. I'll admit, probably not one of my favorite songs of theirs. Definitely one of their larger hits. But really like this one. Was pleased to see it on my list. I will say a couple of days ago, or yesterday I think it was, when I was looking through my list, I thought I was going to have a harder time picking songs. But really, when I sat down to do it this morning, I was like, there's a lot of songs on here that I don't love. Like, I think that they're fine, like that they're good songs, but it's just like, I was like, it's like all overplayed bullshit,
Summer of '69.
Right? Yeah. There's no chance that if that was on my list that it would have made it on here. But eventually, I sorted it out a little bit. I figured it out. Just I don't have anything poignant to say about Pet Shop Boys that I either haven't said before or just really love this band or group, and it is a cool song really when you listen to it. But
Leo, you look shocked that this wasn't Matt's favorite. Yeah,
that was the time that I enjoy that among with Information Society. That was the same decade that I was like having so much fun listening to the song too. Back in the time, we didn't have a house. We used to live in an apartment, which just have a massive playground, and then again connects to actions, to things, right? We in the pool. It's a small pool, not the ones that we previously talked about. But we have a good time, like listening Information Society. We had a good time, like the Patch Mode it's way after, but more like Information Society and Pet Shop Boys. And doing skateboard back in time, believe it or not, I used to skate. But not as the best one like Tony Hawk's, but like I was pretty okay doing some wobblies and stuff, but that was a good time.
Do a kickflip.
Yep, that one got some like scars and ankles and arms.
Oh yeah, I do too. I have
Fun.
I have something on my leg from a skating injury.
Yep.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So, Leo, were you surprised that I love Pet Shop Boys, or did I misunderstand that?
No. I was surprised. I was surprised you didn't like that music, but they have a better music than just West End Girls. So that I wasn't surprised at all. I was just like, I want to trade lists with you guys because again, I've been born the wrong time. I mean, maybe not in the wrong time. Maybe I enjoy more the 80s and the 90s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s. I mean, I would consider it 80s, but like 77 is not like 70s exactly is the end of it, right? The decade, but I enjoy more the 80s and the 90s. 2000 was just the advanced of, we were just migrating for the neons to all this good stuff and the technology, but 80s and 90s was like my thing. I was like amazing for it.
But you would have been at the perfect age
Yeah.
to be experiencing
right.
these. Like these are fresh songs like coming out that you're hearing where Matt, at least on your side, like I'm discovering, I mean, on my list, I knew Power of Love the soonest out of my four because when I was young, I remember picking up a VHS tape. I'm like, what's this movie? And it's Back to the Future. I'm like, I love all of this kind of thing and just like falling into it. So
yeah,
you got to be there, Leo, as it was happening.
I know. And the lucky part too is like in Brazil, we're like 10 years back, right? Like the technology back in time, the tapes actually comes to the movie theater very early stages in the US, and then when it kind of they drop the tapes and the videos in we didn't have Blockbuster in time or Hollywood Video or anything like this. It was a very small shops. It was very difficult to keep up with the Jones, right? Like movie release today, it's gonna be like 5, and then they get better. It becomes like a year later it released in Brazil and on the other countries. So I kind of have like a really good timing to be able to watch the decade and watch the time and get the music too. Back in the time we used to have tapes. You guys remember, obviously. Hope so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, I know we jumped into your next one though. So
Yeah. We're keeping with like a movie soundtrack theme with this one, which honestly was not my intention. Like I hadn't looked until right before what your songs were. I love OMD. I think that they're super underrated. Again, I actually saw them, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, kind of on accident. I went to see because this was also on Pretty in Pink. Right? Was that, or was it sick? I forget what. It was a Molly Ringwald movie. That's all I know. But I think, who am I thinking of? I can't come up with the name, but the song, Pretty in Pink, Psychedelic Furs. I went to see Psychedelic Furs, and OMD opened, and I was like, oh, I know all these songs.
Yeah.
Like I never knew who it was by, but yeah, no, I love this song. I think it's incredible, and yeah, I don't know. I gotta look it up. If it's, I think it was on Pretty in Pink.
it is confirmed.
It is. You confirmed? Okay, yeah. Just a cool tune. Interesting name. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark.
Oh yeah.
So it just feels very 80s. And the song itself, it was. I don't know the backstory, like whether they didn't write this for a movie, but it just sounds like it belongs in like that era that John Hughes kind of era of teen movies. It's just so good. Yeah.
If I am seeing this correctly, I think it closes out the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's at the tail end, right
Yeah.
before it fades to credits. It starts playing.
Yeah.
Well,
I can picture that.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Leo, where are you at with this song?
I like this song rhythm. Back in the time, I didn't enjoy much as Matt, and I haven't watched the movie for the song. So I always listen to the song, but it wasn't the top list of, I would just like, I would have put in the tape, right? Like back then we used to do like mixtapes, but it didn't make my list. But this is still a good song. Nothing wrong with the song, but exactly what you're saying, man. It actually fits into the teen movies, right? That you gather back together with a bunch of kids, and then you're just gonna watch some movies, and you go in a blockbuster back in time, not blockbuster back in time, but get a bunch of tapes, and then you just go through the night. So yeah.
Matt and I have talked a few times, Leo. We both worked in different stores at a local mall, and there's certain songs that we remember from working at these places. And I worked at Old Navy, and one time only did they have an incredible CD to put in that month, and it was all 80s movie soundtrack songs, and If You Leave was one of them on there. One of the best months of listening to music. Otherwise, it was just very painful things to listen to at Old Navy. But Matt, we're in your next one, my friend.
Tears for Fears. This is where I admit that I kind of almost cheated on the lists, because I had initially gone off of the one from I think it was April 26th was when it ended, and then I was like, well, that doesn't include my birth date of the 29th, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't feel like finding the other one, and I couldn't figure it out in the navigation easily, and so I had my list, and then I was like not feeling great about a couple of songs, and then I was like, oh, maybe if I go to that other one, maybe I'll find it like somebody that I like better than what I have here. So I did. However, I guess it's more of like I had the intention of cheating. I didn't end up cheating because all the songs that I left on from the other one were also in the next list as well. So
Gotcha.
I guess I didn't cheat, but I felt like I needed to get that off my chest. I can sleep well tonight now that I have. I love Tears for Fears. I think that they're incredible, and this is just a cool song. I don't know if it was ever in a movie, but definitely should have been if it wasn't. So,
is this one you come back to often? Like, do you go out of your way to listen to Mother's Talk?
No.
Okay, just because I'm in the same boat too, where like I've listened to songs from The Big Chair, but I never go, well, I got to put on Mother's Talk kind of thing. But yeah, as I'm listening to it, I go, it is really good.
Cool bass line. Cool, I just like a lot of 80s stuff, but no, I mean when I was scrolling and I saw Tears for Fears and then I saw Mother's Talk, I was like, I had to listen to it. Because I was like, you know what? I don't really like. I can't hear it right now in my head. And then once I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, I know this song. But, definitely not something I like seek out necessarily. At least not. It's not what's their?
No, it's not
shout
head over heels. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Everybody wants to rule the world. That's what I'm. Yeah. Like that's actually something like is Tears for Fears like often like in movie like on soundtracks, because I feel like they should be like they have so many like Everybody Wants to Rule the World has to be on at least a few soundtracks over the years.
Head Over Heels was in something. Let me figure out what that is. But Leo, what was Tears for Fears doing for you back then? Were they big?
Back in the time, I just ended up enjoying one decade later, like back in '94, that I started listening Shout, and that's the kind of song that you just close your eyes and you listen and you just like release everything you have. So it's a really specific song for me back in time. So I mean, yeah, that make my list as well, if I could make my list and that kind of thing.
Matt, are you ready for the strange answer of what movie had?
Hold on.
Yeah.
No. Oh no. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Because I thought you came up with what just popped in my head.
So I was convinced that it was in an 80s movie. It's not. Head Over Heels is best known for being used in Donnie Darko.
No, that was Mad World.
I remember Mad World too, but I'm like seeing multiple things.
Yeah. All right. This is what we actually kind of came up with the same thing, but just a different. So Mad World was used in Donnie Darko, but it was a Gary Jules cover of Mad World, and it's completely, well, it's not completely different because it's the same song, but it's like almost, if I recall correctly, it was kind of like an acoustic version of Mad World. Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah. So the other songs were in that as well, and others.
From what I'm seeing, yeah, I'm seeing an edited version of Head Over Heels is featured in Donnie Darko.
Cool.
Crazy.
There we go.
We are on to your last one here. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah. All right. You're familiar?
Just right off the bat, I'm like, yeah.
I wanted to add, I had to have something bubblegummy, teeny bopper. I don't know, mall. Like when I hear this song, I just think of like kids in a mall, in the 80s. I know nothing about this group, the Jets. When I was going through the list, I grabbed a couple of songs that I didn't recognize just to hear them, just to see if like, oh, that's who this is, or and this was one of them. I was like, that's weird. I would have never guessed that this was by a group called the Jets. I don't, I know the song. It sounds familiar and whatnot. But in looking, like reading about the Jets, because I had to know like why, like who is this, and it's like a family group, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And it was like an extraordinarily large family. I think I'd read 14 children, which is just mind blowing. So I listened to a couple of their other songs, and like they're all kind of in this genre, but all sound a little different. And I imagine it's just because they have so many fucking children that need to sing on songs and stuff. Like I know nothing about this band, so beyond that, I have nothing to really contribute to the conversation, but needed something that was a little I don't know, like just classic 80s.
Oh yeah, this is very in the Tiffany groove of a previous episode we did. I also love the idea, this is not truthful forever or what at any stretch of the imagination, but that part of the family was busy, so they had to get a second photo shoot with the chunk of family that they did. That's just because that is a lot of people on one album, right there.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, I know that, like, you're making a joke, but like, are those all the same people in both photos?
Also, now I'm confused is this the album name? Ready for the World?
Or is that is this like a split album?
We're going to have to look into this a little bit more because I'm intrigued by this album art here. Leo, with us not knowing a ton about this song, have you ever heard this one before?
That is the first time I hear. It just kind of sounds like the song back in the 80s that people used to do, the breakdancing on the beach and doing all the street dancer stuff. It's more like R&B type.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard, but this specifically right now, you can hear that the people doing all these movements and put the head on the floor and spinning all this stuff and all the break dance. It's a good vibe, but I haven't heard it. I heard about the jazz, but not actually. Never stopped to hear about them, all the songs, because there's so many songs, like it's impossible for we hear all the songs in the world. But it wasn't actually back in time too. It wasn't that much like popular in Brazil, I would say, right? So it's kind of everything that launches in Brazil back in the time. It has to be like break, right? Like national, like Madonna,
Yeah.
Sweet Child of Mine, things like that actually really gets you there. So for me, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, truly just a U.S. top 40 hit of the time.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure like very fleeting. I don't think you would even consider this group a one-hit wonder, even. So. I will confirm. I just looked it up. There is a group called Ready for the World. So that cover is just showing that it's a split album.
It's a split album.
Yeah.
Crazy. Awesome. Matt, thank you for sharing your top 440. Leo, we're up to you.
All right.
Take us away.
For me, let's talk about Car Wash by Rose Royce. Not the car, the artist. I haven't heard about the song because, again, that's the twist song. So for me, that song is kind of like a pure funky fun. So it's a kind of song that actually, you go in a car wash and you imagine this kind of song while you're washing your car. So I imagine like little kids going find a gig or a job and get some money off it. Can I wash your car? Back in the 70s, that you just get a bucket and you just like manually wash, and you have the cheerleaders that comes and wash, and the football players, and do all this kind of party. So for me, car wash was pretty much, what is that?
There we go. So just to be clear, this wasn't huge on the radio for you?
No. For me, I haven't heard it at all. That's not the only twist that I was talking about, because it wasn't actually a song that is specific on my time. I just hear the song for the first time, actually, the research, and for me, it was like right now.
Yeah.
So you imagine like people washing your car, right? Like where you're sitting down and wait your car, and back then, I don't know how much would it cost to wash the car, like a couple cents, maybe, like $1. Very cheap on the tabs, right? Like, and you imagine all those kids like having a good time and fun, like actually wash your car. So basically, that's what I was thinking about this song, but never heard about it.
Mike,
is it only one on my list of 4?
Mike, is it blowing your mind that Leo has never heard this song? Like,
I never heard it.
That's why I had to double check Leo. Like, did I hear Leo right that he's never heard this? Just because, Leo, this is a huge song in the U.S. Like, it is, when you think of disco era songs kind of thing, like, Car Wash is up there for sure.
Maybe never made it in Brazil, or I was maybe in a different kind of group, or the bubble that I used to, listen to songs and stuff, but actually it never made it. That we're talking about from the young kid all the way to teenager and becoming an adult. Never heard it. That was the first time, actually. you know?
I just feel like it's like, I don't know, like weddings, like, like I mean, like at a wedding reception when it, like towards when they really want to get people dancing and and whatnot. This and like YMCA and it's I'll say it's probably not it's a well played song. I don't think it's necessarily a well loved or you know what I mean? Like I don't think anybody's like, oh, I gotta go listen, like nobody's listening to that on their headphones at home.
Right.
It's just like a party song, That's cool that it was the first time you've heard it. I think that's
awesome. Leo, tell us a little bit more about your next song.
So you guys probably know that one, obviously, Aerosmith, right? Like Walk This Way for me was a kind of good time. It was my transition for listening different songs, because I have like eclectic type of listening songs, so I can hear everything, right? And then pick what I want. So Aerosmith for me was a good time back in the 2000s, even if this is the 70s, right? So it's for me, like, man, I can't describe because I didn't play guitar back in time. I had one of my best friend actually used to be a musician, and he started with the guitar, so he was just scraping everything. And this song feels more like it's loud and it's confident, and it's just basically screams, right? For my understanding, which is back in the time I was starting like showing interest in English and start learning the languages. So it's like it has a feel like I'm a cooler than you, you know, like I can't explain that well, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't my favorite pick of Aerosmith, but Walk This Way is actually, this was a pretty good song for you to sit down, chill, and then just like enjoy.
Oh yeah, it's funny you say that you weren't on the Aerosmith train when it released, just because there well, I was about to say was a band from Buffalo, New York that Matt would remember called Every Time I Die, and they had a podcast for a little while where they would like talk about just anything. It was really free form. There was no purpose to the show. But I remember listening to one of the episodes, and I think it was their bassist Steve just said, like, we all know the huge Aerosmith hits. He's like, I recently went, I'm gonna listen to Aerosmith, and like started just playing deep cuts, and he's like, they are incredible. He's like, these people know how to play their instruments. Like, it is shocking how good they are.
Like
and
Dream
just like,
On, right? Dream On is like a big hit back in time. So I mean,
well, isn't there? It was. Wait, was it Dream On? No,
Dream On is early, 70.
Yeah,
Dream On was super early.
Yeah, it was super early, but like it's still as a good song as you listen today. You can't say that's from the 70s. It's difficult.
Yeah,
you have all those remasters and everything, but it's like it is a good, powerful song. So kind of.
Dream On is interesting to me because I don't know how old Steven Tyler was when he recorded it. He sounds like a different person to me, as if they had a different singer at the time, where like I don't hear Steven Tyler until the end when he's doing the Dream On scream kind of thing. So I don't know if that was him helping, like, hey, that's kind of my sound, like, listen to what I can do, kind of thing.
Did you know, are you aware that Aerosmith did not have a #1 hit until I Don't Want to Miss a Thing?
From Armageddon?
Which I'm bringing back the movie soundtrack thing. I learned about that. I heard that fact, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never guessed that it would have taken until what, 1998?
Yeah.
For like Aerosmith to have a top one, you know, like #1 hit.
Because they seem huge. They were.
I mean, so many hits, but none of them actually top the charts.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We are dipping into some fantastic Swedish pop. Leo, tell us a little bit more.
All right, so ABBA, right? Like Dancing Queens. For me, I will be sincere with you. I never like it until I went to Sweden, because my sister was like, I have to take you to this place because this place here is totally like totally ABBA. And then we went in Sweden, and we just drive around, and then she showed me places, and I show interest in the group. So Dancing Queens for me wasn't that much, because I feel I don't want to. I mean, I have a lot of pride of all artists because I can't sing, but for me it wasn't a rhythm that actually stuck me. It sounds so age and reminds my parent with going to the dance with those pants that have like a kind of bell, like humongous bell, right? And dancing, and then for me I was just like, I can't like this because it's too old. And I'm looking back, I was just like, actually, that's not that old. You know, like, so for me, it was an interesting time because I was in tech school back then, right? And then the song plays, and the people actually doesn't get very like excited. And then for me, it was like, oh, okay, I had all the songs that I get. Was almost the time that I was like shifting between R&B's, electronic songs, rock. I was doing all the mix, and tech school was like that back's 2000, right? So it's kind of for me wasn't okay, but that was the first time that I kind of learned about ABBA song, which was big in Brazil. I just didn't get showing too much interest.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, if this like really hit the radio waves, just because.
Oh, it did. It did, but not as much as, like Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, and like Pet Shop Boys back in time too. So it did, but it didn't. It wasn't played as much because it has their time back in '72, I think, 72, 73. So it plays for a long time, and then it always shows up in documentaries, news, just as a reminder, not actually as a top. So
yeah.
I
mean, it's inescapable to us, right, Matt? Like, I feel like I am bound to hear ABBA once a month by not trying even. Like, it will.
Who's there? Yeah.
It will be played in front of me at some point.
Yeah.
So.
And I love it.
Oh yeah.
I unapologetically love ABBA. Like, it was one of those ones, Mike, we've talked about it before. We talked about it on the guilty pleasures. Like, for a long time, I don't think it was even really on my radar. Like, I knew of ABBA and other disco. If you'd asked me back then, I would have been, no way, disco sucks. Like, it's a thing, right? Disco is dead. But I mean, my gosh, how could you not tap your foot to this? Like, it's awesome. Take a chance on me. Even like all the Mamma Mia stuff. Like, I fucking love it. I can't deny it. Just awesome.
Dig it.
Yeah. So for me, actually, just closing quick. At the same time ABBA released, that I got to know, I was more into like listening to Spice Girls, believe it or not, but it's a totally different thing. But it was the same time that I hear, so I kind of like adopt more something modern than actually, ABBA. But it's amazing, they're everywhere.
I know exactly what you mean. It's interesting where sometimes you dive into a band and maybe it's a little bit more pop music than you're used to, and then you go, well, hang on, let me dip into some other stuff that I never checked out in the past. So before you know it, Leo, you're the dancing queen now. All right, we can't let this song go anymore. Leo, Carry On My Wayward Son, tell me more about it.
Yeah, Carry On My Wayward Man is like Kansas. I think that's the only song literally that I know by the band, because I try and hear the other songs too, and it wasn't, for me, it wasn't, I heard everywhere the same way as ABBA, right? It was especially the verse right now that's playing, right? I was hearing them on the radios, but it wasn't something that I much got to enjoy, right? Because like I was a baby, but when I start learning, it was, I don't know, I didn't feel much like a vibe. Matt, you can actually help me out, describe that when you kind of you don't like this song, but you don't want to just spend that much time to like get to know the song. Sometimes you go in the song and you just like, okay, we're gonna let's learn about the song, what the song means, what the feeling the artist is feeling, like to present the song and the whole environment. For me, I was more involved in a different type of music back in time. It's a good song to listen once, twice, but it's not like repetitive, all songs all the time.
Yeah, not something you're constantly coming back to. Not something that, personally, and I don't know if this is, tell me if this is the same with you. Like, a lot of the time, I'll know of something for a long, long time, not pay any attention to it for one reason or the other. I don't know what that reason is, but it's just maybe just like you're into something else, or you're like, I go through phases of like different genres where I'll like get really into something and and then all of a sudden I'm just like onto something else and realizing like, hey, my tunnel vision has caused me to like ignore this, that, or the other thing. And then, you finally listen to it and go, oh, yeah, this is cool. This and I may be wrong, but this just reminds me of either is it Guitar Hero?
I'm literally trying to remember if it was Rock Band or Guitar Hero.
It's one of the two.
There were crossover ones where they had both of them. Either way, it's one of the first things that pops into my head.
Yeah.
Too. Of just playing the song with a little plastic guitar.
Yeah. See, I never had either, Guitar Hero or Rock Band. I never played either of them. By that time in my life, I was like, I wasn't really interested in video games at all. But it was also, I don't know, how old were we, Mike? Around 20, like in our early 20s. So it's like at a lot of friends' like apartments, first apartment, second, whatever, like early, bachelor pads,
Mm-hmm.
So I can just picture like people in like the, just shitty apartments with shitty furniture and everything like that, but like a big beautiful TV and and just hearing the click of the of the plastic guitar and this song, and I mean a couple of other songs that I'm sure I would associate to that, but yeah,
that's today. The songs, it just for me just bringing like more like a type of meaning in life, confusions, internal struggles. So for me, just kind of, there's so many other songs as well, but I totally get the part of Rock Band, PlayStation 2 times.
The comedian Fred Armisen has a great bit about this song where it is him being a part of Kansas and learning the song for the first time, because there's so many different movements and parts to it. Every time it switches, he goes, "All right, you'll have to show me that one later." He goes, "All right, we'll get back to that one in a little bit." Just because there's so many chunks to it, but it is a fascinating song for that reason. It like changes the whole time.
It's definitely not something that I would associate with, not Kansas, because I don't know Kansas all that well, right? But with what I associate Kansas fans like, you know what I mean? Like I lump that into more of a classic rock, almost like Southern rock, where it's like maybe not the most dynamic songwriting, but really, I probably never noticed it, but yeah, that is an incredibly dynamic song, like lots of shifting and lots of changes. Something that I would more associate with like British rock or like ELO, or like more prog rock,
Exactly what I was gonna say, something of a more like prog nature or something of that.
Yeah.
Guys, that was top 4, top 40. What a great list. Like truly overall, like none of these except for Matt being angry that I put Summer of 69.
I wasn't angry.
I'm just messing. I'm messing with you. Like, just what exceptional songs straight through. Leo, another shout out to you. Thank you so much. Official first guest. Round of applause to you. You killed it, Leo. We love it.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, we will see you all on the next episode. Have a good one.